Leah, a junior resident, steps into her first night shift in the ICU, expecting exhaustion, not trepidation, alongside her senior, Satria. This shift begins to unravel in unsettling ways, bells ringing from empty rooms, whispers crawling through the halls, and the dead returning with unfinished business. As Leah confronts an eerie truth, she begins to question, is this night shift outside the bounds of reality? Or has she crossed over herself? Hello and welcome, Lynx here, and the Spooktober games continue. This one is the one I think I downloaded the moment it was like released on itch.io, and well, it took me a moment to get to it, so I will blame. I'm gonna blame it. Not gonna lie, the newest Sakura game. Yeah. Anywho, the game by Azure Twilight. Never played anything from that depth. This will be a first experience in a way. So let us check out this little spooky game.
It's my first night shift during residency today. Mom and Dad had always wanted me to follow in their footsteps to become a specialist. Mom has a pediatrician, and Dad was a neurosurgeon. I followed their wishes and got accepted to residency, but all I want is to get a good night's shift. I can't say I had high expectations for my first night shift in the ICU, but if I'd known it would be this gloomy, I might have tried to get more than 3 hours of sleep. From the moment I walked through the doors, it felt like I've stepped into a different world. The lights are dim, the peeping is too constant, and the whole atmosphere feels like it's one bad day away from a horror movie. I found Satria, who is supposed to be 1 year my senior, in the staff room, looking like he just crawled out of the zombie movie.
Yeah, dude, the eyes, oof.
He was practically a zombie, with dark circles so deep they could double as eye sockets. His scraps were a mess, and he had this dazed, hollow look on his face. Good evening, senior. My name is Leah.
I know, drop it, just be casual with me.
Oh.
You're the first year resident, right? Ate your dinner already?
Yes.
Good. You'll need all the extra calories. Anyway, welcome.
Satria doesn't give up the seniority vibe in residency, unlike some of my peers.
By the way, this is a weird one. It doesn't have an save. It only has automatic saves. Please never do games that only have automatic saves. We need, especially in visual novels, a save where you can just right click and save. That's the only way. Anyway. Unlike some of my peers, got it.
I had been told that residency is like being part of some medieval hierarchy where you're the lowly maid and everyone else is a noble with a stick up there. You know what? Well, you get the idea. But then there is Satria. I mean, the guard actually seemed nice. Yeah, I know. It's almost hard to believe.
But very tired. Also, does he have a cut on his shirt in the like abdomen area? And is it like stitched with tape? Okay.
I'm supposed to do a night round with the junior shift before me. Do you know where they are?
Satria blinked at me like I just interrupted a really intense daydream. They went home. He just sounded like he'd been gargling gravel. No, that's gypsies. I wonder if I'd be like that after a year of residency.
Oh, is everything okay? Anything I get you?
He managed a half-hearted grin that did nothing to reassure me. Nah, just one of those nights. Anyway, this means you'll be doing the night rounds with me. Let me explain everything, kid. Listen well, cause I'm not repeating anything for ya. Oh boy. Should I take notes?
Alright.
No, seriously, should I take notes? Here is the deal with the night shifts. It's a whole different beast. Fine, I will open a notepad on the right side, on the second monitor. We're understaffed, so it's basically just you, me, and, well, one nurse tonight.
Wait, one nurse? For the entire ICU?
He waved his hand as if it was nothing. Who needs nurses when there are residents, am I right? With a stretched feet, and it's a bit of a juggling act. The ICU's usually got more hands on deck, but tonight it's a skeleton crew. What's that supposed to mean? So expect things to get a little interesting. I glanced around the ICU, trying to picture the lone nurse trying to handle everything.
I'll do my best.
Good! If you're lucky, she'll be able to cover all the bases. But don't count on it. We'll need to pitch in whenever we can. And wherever we can. So I'd like you to take charge of the patient bells. Patient bells?
Patient bell duty. What does that involve?
It's exactly what it sounds like. You'll be the one answering the patient's call bells. Every time a patient hits their call button, it's your job to respond. It's one of those tasks that gets handed off to the newbies because it's... well, it's hella boring but crucial. Also probably the most basic thing. Can we call it that? Obviously it's important. But if you are a newbie, I guess it would make sense to hand over something that is the easiest, right? I'd say. Probably. Yeah? Maybe. Amazing. I've really been dreading the prospect of juggling everything else, and now I had to deal with constant interruptions from call bells too. Here is how it works. Each patient room has a call button next to the bed. I mean... I'm trying to remember if I had something like that when... I think it was like an entire room that had it. And I had been in a room with... but I was 17, so underage, so whatever, right? Whatever, who cares? But I guess it is a standard normally. When they press it, an alarm goes off at the nurse's station. Well, it would be if we had more than one nurse on tonight. So you'll need to be the one who gets up and checks on them.
Understood.
Alright, Leah, let's do a quick round so you know what you're dealing with tonight. Satria led me through the dimly lit corridors of the ICU. He stopped in front of the main nurse's station and gestured for me to follow as he began his impromptu tour. We started at room 101. This is Angela Liam, 7 years old, recovering from post-dengue shock syndrome. She's stable, but still needs monitoring. Sweet kid, but she's been through a lot. As for pediatric patients, you deal with the parents, mostly. I peered through the glass window of the room, seeing a tiny figure nestled in the bed, her mom sitting anxiously beside her. Her mom looks kinda familiar. Satria led me to room 104 next. Oh, okay, so 101. Angela, 7 years old, something. Then we skip 102. Nobody. 103. Nobody. 104. Here we have Mrs. Selvina. Mrs. Selvina. She's 47. She's on a ventilator because her liver cancer has metastasized everywhere. Oof. Always on ventilator. Got it. Her condition is critical, so keep an eye on her. Alright. Critical. I mean... critical condition. I mean, to be fair... I guess should have been able to tell from... what she has to go through. Liver cancer already. And it spread, so... We can't get hold of her family yet, so no DNR. Yikes. I glance at the room, where a ventilator hissed rhythmically and Mrs. Selvina lay still. Next we move to room 108. Dang, we are skipping rooms. 5, 6, 7. Alright, copy paste, there is probably nobody. 108. Whoa! As we walked past room 108, a loud crash jolted me, followed by the sound of someone, or something, thrashing around like a wild animal.
What was that? What was that?
This is Mr. X. We basically found him on the streets. Oh. God damn it. Homeless guy? Question mark? He's in delirium, in pain, and we found some injectable drugs in his belongings. Probably OD'd on something. Dude. Yeah, if he's thrashing like that? Yeah. Delirium and pain. Got it. Thinks something is crawling inside of him. A pain in the ass, really. Just try to handle him with patience. Morphine every other hour, so he'll let us know. Morphine every hour. Got it. All the notes.
So we're just gonna let him fight his imaginary demons in there?
Until he starts tearing the place apart, then we sedate him. Okay. Sedate if he tries to tear the place apart. Listen, I don't work in a hospital. I need those notes, okay? Next. Anyway, you definitely need to keep this one in check. Oh. Keep in a check. Finally, we arrive at room 110. Oh, so 109, again, skipping. At 110. Mr. Joko Muliono. Joko Muliono. 75 years old. He had a diabetic gangrene that caused a septic shock and just had a leg amputation. Oh. Ow. He's in a rough spot and can be a bit grumpy, but he's generally manageable. Grumpy. I mean, I'd be grumpy as well. Satria glanced at his watch and sighed. Shift starts at 9 PM and runs until 7 AM. Oh shit. That's a long one. You've got a mix of serious cases and one that's going to test your patience. Try to keep track of their needs and be ready for anything.
Got it. Any tips on how to deal with the patients while I'm at it?
Satria gave me a wary look. The usual. Be polite, be efficient, and try not to let them see how frazzled you are. Alright? Polite, patient, fake being not frazzled. They The call bell might seem like a nuisance, but it's there for a reason. Keep an eye on the frequency of the calls. It might give you clues if something's wrong. Oh, frequency of the calls. So what, like, every third call of someone might be the true call? Something like that? He paused, as if considering whether to add more. Also, be prepared for the occasional strange request. It's the ICU after all. People and things here are usually not in the right state and minds. What do you mean by that? No, seriously, what do you mean by that? Prepare your mind for strange requests. Okay.
What do you mean?
You'll see. Satria looked like he was about to collapse on the spot. Just do your best, kid. We're all running on fumes, but we'll get through it. And if you need anything, well, try not to hesitate. Almost forgot. Since we're working at an ICU, try to answer the patient bells as fast as you can, yeah? Any call might be someone's life and death. I mean, you can just undo your mistakes in real life. But this is a video game, sir! Anyway, as Satria shuffled off to the doctor's call room, he moved so listlessly it was like he was gliding through the shadows. Seriously, the guy looked like he was part of the decor. I bet that's gonna be me after a year. Dude, that's basically working in a hospital, it feels like. Me being terrible at like biology and chemistry aside, I would never want to work in a hospital. Even if I was good at this stuff. Even though it's well paid and so on, like, no thanks. I made my way to the nurse's station towards the patient bell call. Oof. The nurse on duty, who had been introduced to me as part of the skeleton crew for the night, was standing at the desk. Can I... Kinda short. She looked up as I approached, and my first impression was that her face was so pale she almost blended into the background. You know, yeah. If she was standing next to the wall, maybe she would be able to merge with it.
Hello, I'm Leah, the new resident, just checking in.
Cool. The nurse didn't respond. Instead, she just stared at me with her vacant eyes and nodded. It was as if she was too tired or overwhelmed to offer any kind of greeting.
Alrighty then, I'll be around if you need anything or if there is any news.
But nope, no reply, just silent nodding. It was like talking to a very pale, very silent mannequin. The chill in the room seemed to grow thicker with every second, and the silence was starting to feel like it was pressing in on me. I turned and headed back towards the patient rooms, trying to not to let the oppressive atmosphere get to me. Huh? Did the light just flicker? Probably my imagination. The ICU was dark, eerie, and every sound seemed to amplify the sense of unease. It's like Satria and the nurse were just the icing on the cake of this unsettling shift. I took a deep breath and braced myself.
This is gonna be a long night.
Yeah, you are there for 12 hours. Of course it's gonna be a long night. I stood in the nurse's station, all eyes on the patient bell monitor. It was one of those moments where you try to pretend you're not staring, but it's impossible to look away. The monitor was supposed to make my job easier, but right now it was feeling like a bad omen. Do you really need to stare at it if it's that loud? Holy crap. Out of nowhere, the first bell rang, not just once but 3 times simultaneously. What? Please tell me it's not... Oh, for fuck's sake. My heart skipped a beat as I glanced at the monitor. Rooms 108 and 110 were flashing with alarms. Standard affair for an ICU, I suppose. Okay, so it's the homeless guy and the guy with leg amputation. But then... Room 112! What? The monitor showed its bell ringing too. Wait, what?
There is no 112? What the hell? Huh?
What's 112? No one introduced me to room 112. Am I supposed to go there? It was empty. Can I pause? No. Okay, let's go to 108. I press the intercom button on room 108.
Good evening, sir. It's Dr. Leah. What is going on in there?
A long unsettling silence followed, broken only by the humming of ventilators. I was about to repeat myself when a garbled voice came through the speaker.
She's inside of me!
His voice cracking with pain and something else. Fear, maybe.
It ends! Oh, scratching! Trying to get out!
I swallowed hard, trying to keep my tone professional.
Sir, there's nothing under your skin. You're just experiencing a symptom of your condition. No!
His voice was louder now, frantic. I could hear the sound of him thrashing in his bed, the bed frame creaking under the force.
You don't understand! It's her nails! I can feel them! I'm digging! Sir, just breathe, okay? I'm going in to check on you, but you have to stay still, alright?
No reply, just a whizzing laugh crackled through the intercom, making the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. I reached the door to room 108, bringing the sedatives with me. Suddenly, everything was eerily quiet. Grudgingly, I glanced down the hallway, hoping to ask for assistance from Satria or a nurse, but I was alone. I took a deep breath, seeing myself as I pushed open the door to room 108.
Ah!
I should have let Satria take this one. Mr. X was thrashing violently, face contorted in agony. His hands were clawing at his own skin. His scratches covering his arms where he tried to dig out whatever he believed was inside of him.
Help, please! Please get her out! I can't take it anymore! I'm just going to sedate you, sir. It will help with the pain, but you have to let go, alright?
As I reached for the syringe, he grabbed my wrist with surprising strength.
Let go! Let go! She is in me! Your nails were cutting through! She's going to crawl out of me into you! She'll tear us all apart!
His grip tightened, and for a moment I could almost feel it. A sharp, cold scratch just beneath my own skin, held like nails dragging through the flesh. My stomach turned out, but I forced myself to stay calm. I had to. It was just a delusion.
It's just the drugs. It's just the paranoia.
I injected the sedative into his IV and Mrs. X's breathing slowed, his thrashing subsiding as the sedative took the effect. But even as his eyes fluttered shut, he kept whispering to himself.
She's coming.
I backed out of the room trying to calm my trembling hands. But then, as I started down the hallway, something stopped in my tracks. It was faint at first. A soft melodic hum that seemed to drift through the stillness.
Who the heck is singing at this hour?
I paused, my ears straining to catch it. The sound grew clearer and my blood ran cold. A peasanthan was singing? I have no clue what that means. What's a peasanthan? Indonesian female solo singer who sings with a gamelan, whatever that is. Okay. So are we in Indonesia? Because it does sound like that. Her voice was haunting, laced with a sorrow that seeped into my bones. And as if that was enough, there was a distant clink of a gamelan orchestra began to play along with her.
The hell's going on?
It was coming from Mr. X's room. It couldn't be from his phone or TV. The peasant's voice was so close, it was like she was standing right behind me. sing it directly into my ear. I half expect to feel her cold breath on my neck.
She's coming!
And then, just like that, the music cut off. Everything fell into a silence so thick it was suffocating.
Whew, maybe I've had too much coffee. That's it.
I rushed back into the nurse station, trying to shake off whatever just happened. I stood at the nurse's station again when the bells for room 101, Angela, 103, nothing, that nobody there, and 104 started ringing at once. What about 1010 and 12 then?
Not this again.
Room 103 was empty completely. I'm not going there. And utterly empty, so why the hell was the bell ringing? And room 104 had Miss Selvina, who was unconscious and paraplegic. She couldn't ring the bell even if she wanted to. I glanced at the nurse, who was still standing there, eerily mute, as if the chaos around us didn't even register.
What the hell is going on with this night shift?
Satria, my ever-reliable senior, just let out a sarcastic laugh. Hehe. Well, it seems like there is a welcome party for you. I feel like I should have gone to 1010 back then. I'll go 101 to be honest. Yeah, seems like a safer choice. If 104 she's like, you know, unconscious as well, so... I pressed the intercom button on room 101. On the other hand, maybe she woke up, right? But whatever. Half expecting something out of a horror movie to greet me. Instead, Angela's mother's voice crackled through the speaker.
Doctor, Angela's 4 drip is running out.
Actually, it's IV, right? Not 4. In English, at least. Whatever.
Angela's IV drip is running out. Could you come and replace it?
Oh, you bet I will. Dude, Mom is hot.
I'll be right there.
Relieved that it was something straightforward finally. I mean, technically we are only 1 hour into the shift. Beginning the 2nd hour, so not like finally. I grabbed a fresh IV bag and made my way to the room. Okay, nothing weird happening here. But soon as I walked in, the atmosphere felt off. What do you mean? Feels okay.
Not again.
Angela's mother, Mrs. Liam, was standing by the window, her expression a mix of worry and something else I couldn't quite describe. Her daughter seemed to be asleep peacefully in her bed.
Excuse me, Miss Liam. I'm Dr. Leah. I'll be replacing your daughter's IV drop. Oh, doctor, wait! I'm sorry to trouble you, but... there has been a knocking on the window! It's been happening for a while now, but when I look, there is no one there. Probably just the wind, Mom.
She just looked back at me.
Oh, or I could check for you.
I moved to the window, opening the curtain and peering out into the darkness. Nothing. Just a faint reflection of the room behind me and the dark sky beyond. I shook the latch just to be sure, and it was securely locked.
It's safe, Mom. Nothing out there.
She just gave me an uneasy smile. As I started to replace the IV drip, something about her tugged at the back of my mind. I felt like I'd seen her before. What do you mean?
Are you on a social media or something, Mrs. Liam? Your surname is familiar. Yeah. Or like, yes. Yes. I'm a TikTok model, Veronica Liam.
Oh, TikTok. Then I wouldn't know. I don't use that shitty app.
Oh, I see.
She didn't respond, just turned back to the window. She was holding her left wrist, and for a moment I thought I saw something bruising mark. I saw some bruising marks on the left wrist. Oh, she's hiding it. As I finished up with the IV, the unease in the room seemed to thicken. Seems like I shouldn't have asked.
Just press the bell if you need anything else.
Angela's mom nodded again, but her gaze remained fixed on the window. It's as if she was waiting for something, or someone that wasn't there. Actually, you know what? I want the full name of hers. Mom Veronica Liam. Just in case for my notes, okay? Note again, gaze remained on the window as if she was waiting for something or someone that wasn't there. Okay. I quickly left the room, sighing to myself. Feeling thirsty, I wandered in the doctor's lounge. Satria was already there, leaning against the counter while stirring 2 cups of coffee. He handed me one with half smirk.
Thanks.
Oh, she's already like getting in the similar state. Hang in there, kid. This is just your first shift.
Hey, this is what I signed up for.
Easy for you to say. You're one of the blue bloods, aren't you? What, like a night crawler here? Oh, no, that's not what you mean. Everyone knows about you. What was it? Mom's pediatrician, dad's a neurosurgeon.
Yeah, but doesn't mean it's walk in the park. They're always comparing me to them. Tell me how much harder I need to work. I don't even want to be a doctor anyway.
Still, must be nice for having parents who made things so much easier. Oh my god. Yes, of course it is, for fuck's sake. Who wouldn't want that? You don't need to point that out to the person. Wish I had that kind of leg up. My family put everything into getting me here. Now it's on me to make sure it's worth it. What an asshole. I looked at him, really looked, and for a second I caught a glimpse of the wave he carried. Yeah, I mean, understandable, but god damn it. So what? I bet if you were in her situation you would not complain then. Gee. Everyone would like to be, like, born into the, like, you know, easy start. Anyway.
Well,
supposedly easy. Maybe, obviously it is easier, but whatever.
I guess we're both just trying not to mess it up.
Yeah, something like that. I leaned back, taking a longer sip of coffee, letting the silence sit for a bit.
So why'd you decide to be a doctor?
Honestly, for my parents. It's like I had some big passion for it or anything. They're not well off and... well, it felt like the only way to give back.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, they sacrificed so much to get me here. It's on me to make it count. Plus, they're not going to be able to help my sister much longer. I figured I could chip in with her uni loans when I'm out of residency, you know.
Loans? Oh, that's heavy.
Yeah, well, it's not like I can quit now.
But why emergency medicine? Of all the specialties, you chose the one where people are literally running in and out non-stop.
I didn't exactly chose it. It was the only one available through the scholarship I got. Had to take what I could get.
Oh, so this isn't your first choice?
I mean, it's fine. I don't hate it or anything. But if I'm being honest, it was never really about what I wanted. It was just about making sure I could get through med school without bankrupting my parents. Satria stretched a bit before grabbing his things. I mean, yeah. I mean, I feel like if you study medicine, you wouldn't be able to, like, at the same time, work part-time or anything, right? To get the money to pay for that stuff. That's why I imagine, at least. As far as I'm concerned, studying medicine is a crazy task. I studied something obviously completely different that turned out useless, which is logistics. But I didn't pay for that, so yeah. Anyway, I better get back. The nurse seems inexperienced. Just before he left, he paused at the doorway and looked back at me. Residency is brutal, kid. There is still time to leave if you don't wanna be here. Hang in there, okay? Can I now do that now? Before I could respond, he gave me a small smile and disappeared down the hall. Oh, here we go again. The clock struck midnight and the ICU erupted into chaos. Every damn bell on the intercom rang out like crazy. I turned to Satria, his face just as pale as mine.
What's happening?
I have no freaking idea. It's like the whole damn place is losing it. Okay, if I were to go somewhere, where would I go now? We'll go to 1010, I think. The ringing bells droned on our voices and I was struggling to speak. I felt the urge to run, but from what? From our helpless patients? The nurse is the nurse, the one who hadn't spoken a word since we started.
Is this a drill?
Oh, so she was human after all, thank God. A drill at this goddamn hour? The nurse took a step back, looking ready to faint.
I don't know, I'm the new employee too. Nobody told me about this.
Leah, just press the button.
Huh?
Just answer in the intercom, maybe it will stop.
Roger that.
Oh shit, it's really going everywhere. 1010. I pressed the intercom button on room 1010. Sorry, 110, not 1010. 110. I remember it being Mr. Joko Muliono's room, the elderly man who'd recently had his leg amputated. Satria said he was one of the more stable patients, or at least he had been.
Hello?
His wife's voice crackled through a speaker, soft but urgent.
Excuse me, nurse. My husband has a fever. He's not resting well. I'll be right there.
I made my way to room 110. Nice bird. As I entered, the first thing I noticed was how warm the room felt. Stuffy almost. No wonder he's not resting well then. Mr. Muliono was in bed, his face flushed and profusely sweating. He was asleep, but his body was restless, twitching as if something was bothering him even in his dreams.
Good evening, ma'am. I'm Dr. Leah. May I check Mr. Muliono's temperature?
Please go ahead, doctor.
Dude, so he's sweating like crazy, and she seems like she's like ice cold. Like basically like her skin like kind of frozen in a way. What the heck? I checked his temperature, definitely a fever. Nothing too alarming, but enough to need attention. I reached into my pocket and pulled out a vial of paracetamol, preparing to administer it.
This will get the fever under control.
As I injected medicine into his IV, I felt the presence of his wife hovering next to me. Mrs. Muliono seemed like a sweet elderly woman, creepy as fuck. The kind who reminded you of homemade cookies sneaking by the fireplace. No, that smiley's creepy. But tonight something felt off. Maybe it was just my imagination for...
Thank you, doctor.
I glanced up, meeting her eyes. What eyes? She was smiling, a kind grandmotherly smile. It's creepy. But there was something strange behind it that I couldn't quite put my finger on. Well, maybe she's just worried about her husband.
Of course. He should get better soon.
You're a very kind doctor. We're grateful for everything you're doing.
Just doing my job, Mom. Is there anything else you need?
No. He's tired, dear. So very tired.
Pardon?
She didn't respond immediately. Instead, she just kept that unnerving smile fixed on me, her eyes boring into mine. I checked Mr. Muliono's vitals one last time, my hands shaking slightly. His fever was starting to come down, and he seemed to be slipping into a more peaceful sleep, but the room still felt too suffocating. And Mrs. Muliono kept smiling, never once moving.
He should be fine for now. Just let me know if anything changes.
Mrs. Muliono said nothing, just nodding silently as I turned to leave. You should have not turned around, girl. I could feel her gaze burning my back, that eerie smile still hanging in the air. I'm not coming back to this room, man. The door clicked shut behind me and I exhaled a breath. I didn't realize I'd been holding.
What is wrong with my first shift?
I rushed back into the station, trying to shake off whatever just happened. Oh, come on! 3 bells out at once. 108, the crazy guy. 101 and 105. There is nobody there. I groaned. Room 108 was Mr. X, who is convinced someone was crawling under his skin. 101. Angel and her tic-tac, famous mom with the mysterious knocking. 105, empty, perfect. I'm gonna handle 101. I pressed the chrome button in room 101, and it was Mrs. Liam again. Her voice sounded even more urgent.
Dr. Leah, there is knocking again. It's fast, like someone's trying to get in. Please, can you come?
Of course there is. When I entered the room, it was dim, with just the faint glow of the monitoring equipment. Mrs. Veronica Liam was sitting beside Angela's bed, her face even paler than the last I saw her.
Doctor, I'm so sorry for bothering you, but it's been happening more frequently. The knocking, it's almost like it's the money to be let in.
As if on cue, the sound started again. Sharp, rapid knocks that seemed to rattle the window. Wait, how does it sound? How does it save? Oh, it's going in weird direction. Got it. I took a deep breath and went to the window.
Here we go again.
Maybe turn off the lights, like all of them. I pulled it open, half expecting to see something or someone on the other side. Oh, just the... You didn't open the windows, but okay. That's good. Once again, there was nothing. Knocking had stopped immediately as well.
It's fine, ma'am. There is nothing out there.
Mrs. Liam shook her head, her eyes welling up with tears.
Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm losing it. I've been so stressed out. My baby. I wasn't there for her. My job, with all the pressures on social media, kept me too busy. I abandoned her when she needed me most. Maybe just my guilt haunting me.
For a minute, I wasn't sure what to say. An ICU where people died and went to critical condition seemed to feed on fear and guilt, twisting it into something that could reach out and touch you in the dark.
What's important is you are here right by her side during this critical time, ma'am.
She nodded, but her expression didn't change. The knocks had stopped, but the unease lingered. After I excused myself from room 101, I walked back to the nurse's station. The nurse was sitting there alone, tapping her pen on the desk, looking more bored than anything else. When she saw me approach, her eyes lit up. I wondered if she wanted to ask something about Mrs. Liam.
You know Mrs. Liam? Who doesn't?
She leaned in closer, about to spill some tea.
Word is that Veronica Liam was having an affair with some famous actor, a big name in the industry. Her husband found out, and that's why he's nowhere to be seen. Left her to deal with everything on her own, even his own kid. Can you believe that? Oh, so that's why he's not here. That bastard.
I mean, to be fair enough. I understand why. If she cheated, then yeah.
Yeah, rumor has it the whole thing was a huge scandal, but they kept it in hush-hush because, reputation and all of that. But then, well, they know. And how do you know?
What was that? I felt a sudden playful smack on the back of my head and turned around to see Satria grinning like a mischievous kid.
No more gossiping on the job, Leah, Dr. Leah. You're supposed to be the professional here, or I'll tell on you.
I rolled my eyes, rubbing the spot where he bonked me.
Yes, sir. I was just, gathering intel.
Sure, let's call it that.
He chuckled as he strolled down the hallway, disappearing in the shadows.
Try to
keep it classy, okay?
The bell rings again.
Ugh.
101, 103, and 110. I'm not going to the creepy room. 101 I go. I press the income for 101, already bracing myself. Mrs. Liam came through, her voice panicked.
Doctor, the knocking! It's back! It's so loud now and it sounds angry. Please help! I'm on my way.
I grabbed my stethoscope, not sure what good it would do against angry spirits, and headed down the hallway. What was I supposed to do? Politely ask the host to knock quieter? Or just go knock on 102, which is empty? Whoa, girl, you are going wild over here. When I entered room 101, Mrs. Liam was huddled in the corner, trembling, her fingers shakily pointing at the window.
Where?
I walked to the window, sling myself for another round of absolutely nothing. And? Hi there. A pale face shot up from the darkness outside. A child's face, except there were no eyes. Just empty, hollow sockets staring right at me. Whoa, what happened to the room now? Holy crap.
Ah!
I gasped, nearly tripping over myself as I stumbled backwards. Mrs. Liam was sobbing in the corner. Angela shifted in her sleep, her small body twitching under the sheets, groaning as if in pain. My heart was still racing from the eyeless kid at the window, but it got worse when I heard it. Soft, eerie laughter.
Angela! Come play with me!
I froze.
Come on, Angela! Don't you wanna play?
I glanced at Angela. Her groans were getting louder, like she was trying to escape something in her sleep.
Angela, come play! Just let go!
And then, I could see it, a faint shimmering light pulling away from Angela, her soul rising like a wisp of smoke, drawn towards the ghost kid.
No! Give her back! Get away from her!
But Angela's mother, still huddled in the corner, was oblivious to whatever was happening to Angela. She just stared at the ghost kid, her face twisted in fear, not even realizing the danger her daughter was in.
Angela! Fight it! You can't go with him! What's happening?
The ghost child turned grinning wider, his eyeless sockets boring into me.
She wants to play just like I do!
I just followed the ghost kid, and the ghost kid laughed. He pointed at Mrs. Liam.
She doesn't love you! You never had time for her! Angela! Angela's better off dead, so can live a new life with that uncle!
The ghost kid howled, his laughter ringing in the air.
Mrs. Liam, help her! Help Angela!
I mean, I'm not a ghostbuster. I tried to prevent them from getting out of the room, but the darkness around us thickened. I could feel it wrapping around me, pulling me back.
I'm so sorry, dear. So sorry. You don't get to say that now, Mom. You never cared about me. You were too busy with this stupid modeling career.
See? I'm right, aren't I?
I waited for you. I thought you'd love me enough to come back, but you didn't. I didn't know. I was wrong. Please, Angela, come back to me.
Angela shook her head, tears streaming from her empty eye sockets.
It's too late for that. You'll never understand. I wanted you to care.
Angela likes me more. We'll be best buddies. We can play forever and ever. No more staying at home alone. Just fun and games with me, huh?
Oh, she's still switching. For a moment I could see Angela hesitating, looking back at her mother. The ghost kid jumped in, his cackles screeching like nails on the chalkboard.
Your mom doesn't love you. She only cares about herself. Come with me, Angela. We can have so much fun together.
Hey, Angela, your mother clearly cares. If not for that, she wouldn't be here in general. She wouldn't be crying tears because you were supposedly disappearing. Come on. Mrs. Liam was a mess of tears and desperation.
No, Angela, please. I love you. I want you back.
Tell Angela her mother loves her. Show Angela her mother's bruises. Oh, I wish I could save now. Fuck. Does it really save? I think it does. It seems so. Alright. Oh my god, that is a tough choice. Which one would a ghost of a child react better? Would she react correctly if he showed the bruises of her mother? What if we tell Angela that her mother loves her and so on, but the mother will actually show the bruises or something? But what if she won't? What if she only opens up about the bruises if we force her to show them? Oh my god, this game! I don't know the outcomes of the choices. Eeny, meeny, mo. We are going to say this. Tell Angela her mother loves her. Let's see.
Angela, listen to me. Your mom loves you. If she doesn't, she won't be here when your father doesn't.
Angela's soul paused, uncertainly flickering her eyes as she glanced at her mother.
I'm so sorry, Angela. I've been working to escape this hellhole with your father. You know that he beats me. And I wanted to get away, to take you with me, so I can pay your food and school. But in my work, I forgot how much you needed me. I'm so sorry.
She's just saying that because she's scared of losing you.
I mean, isn't being scared of losing your daughter a proof of love? Ha ha ha.
Don't let him trick you, Angela. You're stronger than this. I don't know. You're loved and you deserve a chance to be happy here with your mom. Don't let him take you away.
Slowly, Angela's soul started to drift back towards her body.
No, Angela, don't be boring. Stay with me.
Come on. Come on. Come on, Angela. Come on, Angela, stay with us. Come on. Let's freaking go.
But I love my mommy. And if Daddy's hurting mommy, then she doesn't have to tell anyone but me.
Mrs. Liam rushed to her daughter's side, cradling her as tears streamed down her face.
Angela! Oh my god, you're okay! I'm so sorry! I'm so sorry, baby! I've been such a terrible mother! I thought working was the only way to save us, but I wasn't there for you when you needed me the most!
Angela, still groggy, blinked slowly as she leaned in her mother's hug, her small hands grasping weakly at Mrs. Liam's shirt.
It's okay, Mommy. I've missed you so much. I've been running away from our problems, but no more. I'm leaving him. We're leaving. I promise make it right. I'll make everything right.
Angela's eyes fluttered closed for a moment, but this time it wasn't from exhaustion, it was from peace. She smiled weakly, nodding as she nuzzled into her mother's shoulder. For the first time, the room was filled with warmth instead of fear. The ghost kid was gone, his angry presence fading into nothingness, and all of that was left was a mother and daughter, finally together! I think I did a pretty good job there!
Thank you, Doctor! I know what would have happened if you hadn't been here! I'm just glad you're both okay. Thank you, Doctor Lady! And Mr. Doctor as well!
What? What do you mean?
When I was out there, outside my body, I saw Mr. Doctor. He was hovering around.
Hovering? Like, what do you mean?
He wasn't walking, he was just, there, floating, and
He looked different. Kind of like he wasn't really there, but at the same time he was pulling the little kid to get away from me.
That was odd. I didn't see Satria around.
Really?
Really? But I didn't see him at all tonight. Me neither.
Me neither, but I'll keep an eye on him.
I think he's going to the old man's room next. Maybe you'll catch him if you visit there often. But the kidso said everyone is afraid of the scary ghost lady wearing kebaya, so she probably needs to go first.
The kid said, oh shit, the homeless guy. Okay. Sammy was right about Satria, and now Angela had seen it too. I wonder what actually happened. Angela lives! Woo! Alright, so 101, I think we don't need to visit anymore. 3 more rooms. The bells ring again. 102, nobody there. 104, she's asleep. 110, the old guy. Let's go. Alright. Let's fight, old hawk. I press the intercom button on room 110.
Room 110, what is going on?
My husband is in a pain, doctor. Please come immediately.
I hurried to room 110. Mr. Muliono lay in bed, his face contorted in agony, pads of sweat glistening on his forehead. He's not fully conscious yet. I rushed to his side and quickly checked his vitals.
Hang in there, sir. I'm gonna give you something for the pain.
Oh, thank goodness you arrived quickly.
Yes, ma'am.
As I administered the medication, I noticed something. Mrs. Muliono stood at the foot of the bed, a serene smile on her face. But her feet weren't touching the ground. I want to scream, but my body froze, and my hand was still administering the meds. I quickly finished my job, and god damn it, the syringe fell to the floor. As I bent down to retrieve it, I was face to face with her feet. I wasn't just dreaming. She was just standing there. She was floating. Could it be that she's actually dead? Already?
The meds are in his system now. He should be alright. I'm just gonna... go. Now, yeah.
Her smile widened.
Did you leave because you're done or because you've noticed? Me?
The room felt a lot colder, and shadows deepened in the corners as if they were reaching out to grasp me. Somehow there were cracks in the wall. I couldn't move a muscle.
Miss Muliono, I think you should...
Do you see me?
Panic surged through me, and I turned to the door, desperate to escape.
I have to go, mister.
Oh, fuck. With one last frantic glance at Mr. Muliono's pained expression mirrored my own horror, I bolted from the room and slammed the door shut behind me. As I stumbled back in the oddly darkened hallway, I suddenly heard it, a soft whispering noise that sent chills racing down my spine. Mrs. Muliono.
You should know. One of you is just like me. The darkness hides secrets, my dear. One is pretending to be alive just like I once was.
I wonder if this is the guy. I slowly shuffled back towards the nurse's station, trembling. Who could it be? The nurse? Satria? I'm alive, aren't I? Or maybe Mrs. Muliono was just trying to scare me. The bell rings again! 104, 108, 111, nobody is there. 108, let's go. I pressed the intercom room for 108, and the sound of Mr. X retching immediately filled the speaker. His voice, even more frantic and broken than before, cut through the noise.
She's out!
Pardon?
She's out, but I can still hear her. She's here! Help!
Sir, I'll be there in a...
Ah!
Sir?
You hear it too, don't you, doctor? Do you?
As I listened, something else crept in, something familiar. A Pezinchen song, soft at first, like a lullaby from hell, getting louder and closer with each second. The song drowned out Mr. X's screaming. The hairs my neck stood on end and as her voice wound through the static. It edged closer and closer, until it felt like she was right here in the nurse's station, instead of Mr. X's room.
I can't do this alone.
I bolted towards room 108, dragging the new nurse with me, despite her protests. The eerie wails from Mr. X still echoed in my ears as we rushed down the dimly lit hallway.
He?
When we burst into the room, the bed was empty. The song had also stopped.
Sir?
I looked to the window, but it seemed like it was jammed shut.
Over there!
The nurse pointed at Mr. X cowering under the bed, his wide eyes glinting with terror.
Sir, what are you doing under there?
I knelt down, trying to see him better. Before I could get an answer, the nurse beside me let out a blood-curdling scream. She stumbled back, clutching her foot, eyes wide with fear.
Doctor, something scratching me. It's under the floor, scratching me.
A cold chill ran down my spine. The scratching. That horrible feeling from earlier was back, and it wasn't just in my head, the nurse felt it too. Whatever was down there, it wasn't done with just yet. But helping Mr. X came first. I had to sedate him. Mr. X was still trembling under the bed, his eyes darting around like he was seeing something I couldn't. I injected a sedative in his arm, trying to ignore everything else while the nurse covered behind me.
Just breathe.
His eyes fluttered closed as the drug took effect. I turned towards the nurse.
Are you okay?
My mom said being a nurse is an honorable profession. I'm just here for the paycheck.
It's okay, he's asleep, just let's get out.
But as I turned to leave, the silence was shattered by that haunting sound again, the peasant dance song. I didn't wait to see what would happen next.
Let's go already.
Yeah, I agree. The nurse grabbed me by the arm. We bolted out of the room, the song echoing behind us like it was chasing us down the hallway as we fled back to the nurse's station. I didn't even realize that the corridor had somehow become even darker than before. Whoo! We didn't stop until we were back in the dim safety of the station, gasping for air. The song had faded, but whatever was happening in room 108, it was far from over. Satria was there. He raised an eyebrow when he saw us running, but didn't ask anything.
Satria, do you know anything about Mr. X's background? I mean, besides the obvious nightmare we just dealt with.
Satria leaned back, his eyes fixed at the ceiling.
I mean, there is a rumor that he used to be filthy rich. But you know, classic tale, lost everything, bad investments, gambling, drug addiction, who knows?
Really? How come?
When they found him, he had this ridiculously expensive watch on him, like the kind that could pay off a car. No one's sure if he stole it or if it was his, but it's the only thing he had left.
We keep hearing a Gambellan song and someone singing.
Satria didn't even blink, just shrugged with an exasperating nonchalance.
Maybe it's a vengeful lover haunting him or his ex-wife, who knows? Or maybe the music just in his head and now it's in yours too.
There is some way!
Either way, it's absolutely none of our business.
I couldn't tell if he was being serious or just messing with us, but either way, it did nothing to calm the two of us.
This way above my pay grade!
And I'm not even getting paid?
Satria just smiled, that infuriatingly calm smile, and withoutlessly reached to the counter and poured 2 cups of tea. Yeah, if anyone is a ghost, it's him. He handed one to the nurse and one to me. But he can do stuff, so...
Here, drink up, it will help calm your nerves.
The nurse and I exchanged a glance, still too rattled to do anything. Finally took a sip anyway, trying to shake off my doubts and fear. The nurse did the same. If Satria could be this relaxed, maybe we could survive the rest of the night. Or maybe he was just as crazy as this place. The bells ring again. Which ones? 104 and 10. 1048. Sleep 10. Sleeping. Alright, let's go to them. I press the intercom button in room 110.
Room 110? What's going on?
Dr. Leah, can you check my husband?
One moment, please. I'll be right there.
When I stepped in, the familiar, unsettling sight of Mrs. Muliono greeted me. Only this time she looked ghostly. Her feet were still completely off the floor, just hovering. I swallowed hard, pushing the fear and unease down as best as I could.
Your husband's vitals seem stable and he's recovering well.
Oh, thank God. I was so afraid. I don't think I could ever leave him.
Her voice quivered, and for a moment I could almost forget she was a ghost. It was just a woman, clinging to the memory of the man she loved.
I died of cancer just 3 months ago. It wasn't quick. It dragged on, took everything from me. I don't think he could ever recover from that. And we don't have the children to accompany him when I'm gone.
I stood there, silent, unsure of what to say.
He wanted the kids. But when it became clear that it wasn't going to happen, I thought he would leave me. But he never did.
That's a real man right there, okay? That's the proper man.
He said he married me for me, not for children. That's what he told me.
What a guy.
Oh, my dearest. When I got sick, he took care of me every single day. Never complained. Never once made me feel like a burden. He was always my rock, right until the very end. And now he's all alone. I should have been there for him, but instead he's left alone without me. All I'd want now is to repay him for everything, just to make sure he's alright. That's all I need before I can finally let go.
As I stood there, still trying to process everything, Mrs. Muliono's ghostly figure floated a little closer.
Doctor, can you promise me something? Promise me you'll make sure he gets better.
Don't make that promise. Please, girl. Say something like, I promise I'll do my best to help him get better. You can't promise that he definitely gets better. Please, girl, please. I hesitated. There was no way I could make that kind of promise. Yes. Healing wasn't something I could guarantee. Yes.
I can't promise he'll get better, but I can promise you that I'll do everything I can.
Finally. Finally someone with common sense. Let's go.
I'll give it my hardest. The best. That's the best I can do.
For a moment she didn't say anything, just looked at me.
It's good enough for me.
Damn. Suddenly, warm bright light surrounded her. It was like the usual eerie glow that accompanied her before. It was softer, more peaceful. I watched as she slowly faded into the light, her form dissolving into nothingness. She was gone just like that. I then heard a groan from the bed. Mr. Muliono was waking up. He looked around confused.
Oh, doctor, what's going on? I had the strangest dream.
You're fine, Mr. Muliono. Your anesthesia is wearing off.
Is that so? Oh, I dreamt of my wife. She was here with me. But she's dead, doctor. Could I be hallucinating? Was that the sedatives?
I felt a lump in my throat, but I smiled back at him and shook my head. As I tried to leave, Mr. Muliono's voice stopped me.
Thank you. For everything. I hope my wife can see how well you're all taking care of me here.
I paused for a moment, glancing towards the empty space where Mrs. Muliono had been only moments ago.
I'm sure she knows.
The bells rings again! Oh crap, where now? 106, 8, 6, nobody 8, here we go!
Let's face the demon! The musical demon!
I pressed the intercom for room 108, and something was different. This time, his voice was calm. It's over, Doc. I rushed his room. When I got there, my stomach dropped. Mr. X had disconnected all of his equipment, the monitors flatlining behind him. He stood by the window, trying to pry it open, hands trembling with determination.
Sir, what are you doing?
He didn't answer, just kept fumbling with the window latch like a possessed man. Yeah, good luck with that. In a hospital, you will not be able to do that. At least not in a Polish one. You'll like open a little bit. A tiny bit. Like, just like a fly could maybe make it through. Anyway. The room felt colder, heavier, and then... I heard it. The peasant singing again. The haunting melody slithered through the air, growing louder. Ooh. Damn. And just like that, she appeared, her figure materializing in the room, moving closer with every note. Ooh. She was beautiful. Yeah, I mean... If that's your taste, who am I to judge? I do judge for. In the most unsettling way. Her smile wide, her eyes dark and empty. Mr. X whipped around, pointing at her with trembling hand. You're dead! This isn't real, you're not real. But the woman only smiled wider. A slow, creeping smile that spread to her ears, contouring her face into something grotesque and inhuman. Her eyes locked onto him, and the airy room felt like it was being sucked out. No! This isn't real! The woman stepped closer, still singing. She raised a hand towards him, her fingers curling like she was about to claim him. And she whispered,
Gandendra? Fatima!
Her smile widened even further, condensed with malice and dripping with venom. Before I could react, her hands shot out, wrapping around his throat. Psst, damn! That's a good-looking CG. Mr. Ganendra's eyes bulged as he gasped for air, his hands clawing frantically at her grip. Stop! I screamed, rushing forward, trying to pull her off of him. But as I grabbed her, she turned, her face twisting into something horrific. Her beautiful features morphed into a monstrous figure. Her eyes were now black pins, mouth too wide for her face, with sharp, jagged teeth. I think there is no saving this guy. The air grew thick with the stench of decay.
Haidep! Galun keun abdi! Ayuna! Hidep! Kudu maya Argentina!
She tightened her grip around his throat, and Ganendra's face turned a sickening shade of blue. I yanked at her arms, but it was like trying to move a large rock. Mr. Ganendra's choke gasp filled the room, his eyes begging for mercy, but the ghost, Fatima, or whatever she had become, only laughed. I fumbled for the intercom, my hands shaking, and pressed the button, barely managed to croak out the words. Help! Anybody! Within moments, Satria burst into the room, prayer beds in one hand and a small pouch of salt in the other. Without a word, he threw the salt across the room, the grains catching in the air like tiny sparks. The ghost woman, Fatima, screeched an ear-piercing wail that made my skin crawl. Her monstrous figure twisted and contorted as if the very air was burning her. With one last deafening shriek, she vanished, leaving behind nothing but an icy chill in the room. Mr. Ganendra slumped to the floor, gasping for breath, his body trembling. Great! Satrian face stuck the prayer beds back into his pocket, wiping his hands on his scraps like he'd just taken out the trash. I rushed to Mr. Ganendra's side as Satria administered his meds, and he was already calming down once more. We carried him back to his bed.
Satria, she said, Hidep Ngalunkel something Kudumayar Grantina. What does that even mean?
Satria's face darkened, his usual sarcasm replaced by a grim seriousness.
Probably. You offered me up, now we have to pay the price. That woman, she might be in a tumbal, a sacrifice in some kind of ritual.
Sacrifice?
She was my girlfriend. I asked her for a ritual to get rich. I didn't think she'd come back.
My blood ran cold. This wasn't just a ghost. This was revenge. Can we summon her back? Actually, this one, she deserves revenge.
Now everything is going wrong. I've lost everything. Just leave me alone. I don't need all of those injections.
Satria just shook his head.
It's our job to treat you, sir. Whatever you did in the past, you need to atone for it.
Without waiting for an argument, Satria quickly administered a sedative. Mr. Ganendra's eyelids fluttered as he drifted off into unconsciousness.
You've got a lot more to answer for when you wake up, boy.
As we stepped out of the room, I couldn't shake the wave of what just happened.
I never thought something like that still exists in this day and age. His own girlfriend. What a piece of shit. What kind of person does that?
A piece of shit person. That kind of.
People do anything for money.
No.
Curious, I pulled out my phone and googled Ganendra's name. What I found sent chills down my spine. He was some sort of CEO for a startup, living the high life. I stumbled upon his social media filled with pictures of him and a woman named Fatima. They looked so happy. Well, before everything went south, that is. I felt wrong to see those smiling faces now, knowing what happened.
This dude had it all. I can't believe it.
Yeah, now he's left to atone for his mistakes.
Mr. X lives. How come I didn't get such information about the grandpa? Right? Would I need to visit him again or something? I don't know. It was finally 6 AM, the end of my first grueling night shift. I was ready to get home, barely able to keep my eyes open when I noticed Satria standing by the exit. His silhouette framed by the morning sun almost. Different somehow. He waved me over with a faint smile.
Yo, kid. Thanks for everything.
Sure. I didn't do much.
Yeah, but still, thanks.
Okay, you sound like you were saying goodbye. There are still more shifts in the future.
Nah. You won't see me again after today. Take care of yourself, alright?
So he was... okay. Before I could ask what he meant, he gave me the final wave, stepping into the sunlight. And then, just like that, he was gone. No footsteps, fading, no doors closing, just gone. I stood there, my mind spinning. Had I mentioned it? The night had been long, so sure, but this felt strange. Everything can wait later, for now. But... as I collapsed onto my couch, still thinking about Satria's strange words, I mindlessly scrolled through my phone. That's when I saw it.
Satria Dominic, medical resident, dies in a single motorcycle accident at 7 PM last night.
Wait a minute.
But we were working together at 9 PM, weren't we? He was still alive then, right? I scrolled to the comments, heart pounding. People were mourning him, talking about how kind he was, etc. But if he died last night, then who was with me on the shift? A chill crept up my spine as I replayed our final conversation in my mind. His calm words, the way he disappeared into the sunlight. Was it real? Had I just worked in their ship with Satria's ghost? I leaned back and closed my eyes, whispering a solemn prayer for Satria. For his peace and his journey, wherever it was now taking him. Satria had worked so hard only to be lost to the very grind he had struggled against. I sighed, staring out into the early morning light, unsure of what the future would bring. I wonder if I would end up like him. One thing was certain though, I would never forget him. And I would never forget this odd night shift at the ICU. Normal ending. Angela epilogue. Okay. A few days later, I bumped into Angela and her mom in the hospital. Angela looked so much better, healthier, happier. And the mom too? Her mom smiled at me and I could see the relief in her eyes.
Oh, doctor, thank you for everything. It's nothing really. So what happens now? Oh, We're moving abroad soon. Just the two of us, starting over away from her dad.
I glanced at Angela, who gave me a big grin. It was clear they were ready for a new beginning.
That's great. I'm really happy for the both of you.
Angela's mom pulled out her phone with a grin.
Come on, come on, come on. Let's take a quick video together. Diddy!
Free cutie pies! Before I could protest, she recorded a short clip of the three of us thanking me for saving her daughter. Angela smiled happily, and I awkwardly waved at the camera.
And there we go. Upload. You're gonna be famous now.
Yeah.
Great. Just what I needed, Mom. Hey, hey. At least it's for something good. Goodbye, pretty doctor. See you again. Feel free to DM me if you need anything, Doc. A call-up, whatever. What are you talking about?
As they walked away, I felt a warmth in my chest. It was a reminder that things really can get better. Mr. X epilogue. Oh boy. I sat on my couch watching TV. It had been a few weeks since Mr. X, or Ganendra, had been released from the hospital. The news that reported his imprisonment for drug trafficking, and I've never heard about him since. Good.
Wait, what's this?
In a tragic development, Ganendra Sanjaya was found dead in his prison cell earlier today. Ah, she got him anyway! The cause of death is currently unknown, but sources say there was a woman's headprint around his neck when his body was discovered. Let's go. She got her vengeance. I felt a chill run down my spine. Fatima! Had she truly claimed him in the end? Good. The screen displayed a photo of Mr. X alongside a beautiful woman. The anchor continued detailing how Ganendra's fall from grace had shocked the community. People had once admired him as a successful CEO, and no one knew how he became a drug addict. Still, he had made a choice that led him down this path, and it was hard to pity someone who hurt his girlfriend for wealth. True. I don't pity him the slightest. To be fair, maybe Fatima did the wrong thing. She shouldn't have gotten vengeance like that. She should have continued making him lose his shit during life. Yeah. Haunt him until the end. That's how it should be done. Anyway, did Fatima find him at last, reclaiming what she had lost? Or was the manifestation of his guilt? I guess I would never know. Which is fine. Joko epilogue. Joko? Oh, it's him. Okay, that's right. Mr. Joko Mulyono returned to the hospital for his follow-up, and after his appointment, came over to me in the hallway. He was holding a beautifully decorated music box.
Dr. Lee, I just want to thank you for everything. My wife, she loved this music box. It was her favorite, and I'd like to give it to you.
Mr. Muliona, I really don't know what to say.
I smiled gently, holding out the box.
It's fine, Doctor. She always said it brought her peace. I think she'd want someone like you to take care of it. I don't have any children to pass to anyway.
I carefully took the music box from him.
I'll treasure it, I promise.
You know, when I first met her, I never imagined how much she'd changed my life. We didn't have children, but we had each other. That's enough for me. I hope one day you find someone who loves you as much as she loved me.
His words hung in the air, and I felt a lump in my throat. With today's economy, I don't know about that.
Thank you.
He gave me one last smile before turning to leave. As I stood there with the music box in my hands, I could feel all the memories it held. It made me think about the kind of life I wanted to build to. The end. Okay, so in a way, I just don't know. I literally don't know what is going on with room 104. With the woman that was, well, in constant sleep. And I never answered her calls because, well, I thought, wait, they said that she is asleep basically, so she wouldn't be able to call us, right? Alright, so we have basically 4 people, 12 hours. But they didn't have to answer the calls 12 times. I wonder if you can solve all the cases in one go. Probably not. It didn't feel like we could. I mean, it's not like I didn't go to certain rooms, or I didn't go to empty rooms as well. I literally went to 3 rooms 3 times. Oh, I wonder if because Angela in her ghost form, she said that the X would be claimed before Joko. So maybe if I solved his case first, there would be no vengeance or something. But I'll be honest, I'm satisfied with him getting offed. But I'd be more satisfied if basically the girlfriend that he sacrificed would continue haunting that bastard until like old age, not gonna lie. And well, Joko will live a little bit more. I mean, he was 75. Will not be easy without a leg, I guess, sadly, but hopefully he'll manage. And well, got a nice gift from him for the girl. And let's face it, our doctor will not be like, I'll slide in for a collab into Veronica's DMs. I'll be like,
Hi Veronica, how are you doing with Angela over there? Oh, we're doing quite alright. By the way, we'll be visiting the city you're in sometime. Would you like to hang out?
and the romance will bloom. The Yuri romance. That would be a happy family. Obviously, I'm making up like scenarios right now, right? You do realize that. Yeah. Alright, 14k words, multiple endings and epilogues. Got it. Ghosts from Indonesian folklore. Got it. A very brutal and unforgiving night shift. I mean, I imagine if you were to be there, yeah, that would be definitely brutal to go through that, like, life, basically. Dude, that was super fun. That was ridiculously fun. Not gonna lie, I'm gonna do a little research into the game as well. I want to see the other endings as well. I'll check out, obviously, room 104 with the sleepy woman. And you know what I'm else curious about? What if I checked out only the empty rooms? Right? I need to find out as well about that. But I'll do it on my own. And if you want to do it as well, link to the game is in the description. Listen guys, the game is free. Go and play it as well. It's worth it. No, it is a really good game, not gonna lie. Azure Twilight, absolutely phenomenal work. I'm so glad that you managed to catch my attention with the thumbnail while I was browsing through the fresh releases. I'm so glad, because that was a great game. But yeah, as I said, link in the description, go play it yourself, find out the other options. As I said, I will be doing the research. Who knows, maybe we'll return. Maybe we'll return. It will not happen today, but maybe there will be like another episode. Who knows? I don't know yet myself, obviously. But yeah, with that being said, let's end it for today. After I do my research, we'll find out if tomorrow maybe there will be, like, in a way, part 2. But I think we'll start from the very beginning again to go through everything. Dude, I'm looking at the developers page on each now. Full-time doctor. Full-time artist. What? Is there a limit to your talents? God damn it. I'm so jelly about that. I want those talents. Give me one of your talents, damn it. You know what? Just in case, I'll keep the notes as well. Just in case, I'll keep the notes on my desktop. To all the rooms, basically, so I don't have to write it again. And yeah, that's about it. That's about it. Yeah, so basically, definitely room 104 is another thingy here. Another CG. I wonder if this one would be like the empty rooms. Yeah. Alright. Time to end it. Time to do some video editing for today. And we'll see. We will see. For now, hope you enjoyed. Consider liking the video, subscribing if you did. Always super appreciated. Very, very much. If you're working in like hospital and so on, thank you for all the hard work. For ridiculously hard work. And keep at it. Remember, normal people are actually grateful for all the work you're doing. Because, well, to be fair, it's the only way we can really kind of be thankful, like by being grateful and so on. But yeah, with that being said, Intensive Scare Unit. Phenomenal game for Spooktober. That's all I need to say really here. I wish you all a wonderful day. Great Halloween. And I hope to see you in the next game. Or in continuation of this one. If I decide to continue and show you the other like scenes and so on. Yeah. Have a great one. Bye bye.